If I could go back 30 years and start my trading journey over knowing everything I know now, there is a lot I would do differently. I'm Raghee and I've been trading for 3 decades, but my first few years were kind of tough. I lost thousands of dollars, I made thousands of dollars, I spent thousands of dollars making every mistake possible. I questioned my decision not to go to law school like my mom wanted, but those painful lessons taught me what actually works. So today, I'm sharing exactly what I would do if I had to start from zero. No experience, just someone with a regular job wanting to learn trading the right way. All right, first things first, we got to talk money. Picture this: you've just nailed 3 perfect setups in a row, following your rules flawlessly, and you're trading a $500 account. Even at a total of 10% in gains, your profit is just 10%. Now imagine that same performance, but you're trading a $100,000 account provided by a prop firm. Same skill, same discipline, but now that's $8,000 to $9,000 in your pocket. That's the power of prop firm, and this is how they operate. You pass a test and they give you access to their money, 25,000, 50,000, 100,000 or more. You get to keep a percentage of the profits you make, usually 80 to 90%. And what you need to do is prove that you can trade consistently without blowing up the account. But prop firms are not a shortcut. I've watched countless traders throw away $500, $1,000, even $5,000 on evaluation fees because they rushed in before they were ready. They failed the challenge, they lost their money, and they lost their confidence. They felt shattered. The prop firm path only works if you've mastered consistency in a demo and then a live small account first. So if I were starting over, I'd spend 6 to 12 months grinding it out in demo, building my strategy, journaling every trade, and proving to myself that I can follow my rules religiously. Then I'd open a small live account, maybe $500 to $1,000, just to feel the real money emotions and prove that I can handle them. Once I'm consistently profitable there for at least 3 months, only then would I take a firm evaluation. This approach means you're not gambling away your life savings trying to learn. You're learning the skills first with small stakes and then scaling up with someone else's capital once you've proven you won't blow it up. Now, about 30 years ago, I discovered trading and I went very hard at it. First, I took all the money I had saved just to have an account to start with. I also worked 7 days a week between 2 part-time jobs while in college to make the money to put in my account. But in trading, going slow is almost always the best choice. All right, now you know what the best vehicle is to start making money without your own money. But hang on, because if you do what I did next, you're going to waste years of your life. And that is trying to learn by yourself or taking generic courses. This is the fast track to losing money, time, and confidence. Believe me, I've done it. I spent years spending thousands of dollars trying random ideas from back then, infomercial courses, mail order courses, and I repeated the same errors over and over because no one was there to correct me. When you try to figure everything out by yourself, you're basically trading blind. You don't know which strategies actually work. You don't know which concepts are outdated or how to avoid the mistakes that every single beginner makes. And even if the strategies are neatly packaged inside an online course, mastering trading goes way beyond watching just a set of videos. Trading is psychological warfare with yourself. That's why you need someone who can notice when you're hesitating, over trading, revenge trading, sizing too big, or falling into emotional patterns that you don't even see. A course can't call out your blind spots. A course can't stop you from blowing up an account when fear or greed kicks in. And information alone isn't enough. It's the guidance, the feedback, and the pressure of being accountable to someone who actually makes a living from trading that makes the difference. So if I could start over, I find a mentor right away. Someone who's been through it all and actually knows what works today. But you need to be careful here. Not everyone calling themselves a trading expert actually is one. Look for live trading proof, recorded sessions where they're actually executing trades, managing risk, building watch lists, and handling losses. And make sure their expertise actually matches what you want to trade. If you want to trade futures, Don't learn from someone who only trades stocks. And if you're finding this valuable, make sure you hit the subscribe button. I'll be uploading a video every week show you the real, unglamorous path to consistent profits. All right, you've got the moneymaker, prop firms, and the guidance, a mentor. But unless you commit to this next crucial step, like your life depends on it, you're still most likely to fail. And that's playing the demo phase correctly. Don't disregard fake money. It's there for a reason. It's going to teach you the habits, the mindset, and the tech skills of order entry that will later protect your capital. Done correctly, it's one of the most valuable parts of your trading journey. And the reason some traders level up while other traders stay stuck forever. And to do this, I make sure I follow a 5-step framework. But before I give you my framework, let's get two critical things straight. First, what you should be trading. Stick to higher time frames. I recommend the 4-hour or the daily chart while you're learning because they give you time to think, time to breathe, time to make rational decisions. The 1-minute or the 5-minute charts are a recipe for chaos while you're still building your discipline. I made this mistake early on trying to day trade 5-minute charts thinking I would just make money faster. And all I did was rack up commissions and make my broker very happy. Second, order types. Set your stop loss the moment you enter a trade. Know what it is. I can't tell you how many times early in my career I entered a trade thinking, well, I stop at a second. I'll figure out what that is. I got distracted and then I watched the market move against me. Been there, done that. I had no protection. Your brokerage platform should have these options, so learn to use them while in demo until they're second nature, muscle memory. All right, back to the demo framework. First, a Sunday ritual. Every Sunday, I'd sit down and I'd review every losing trade from that week. And I'd ask myself, what went wrong? Did I break my rules? Was my stop too tight? And then I'd write down exactly how I felt during the trade. What was the emotion that took over? Was I anxious? Was I greedy? These emotions are the real reason you're losing money, not the market. I mark rule breaking trades in red. You need to see your patterns. You need to see where you keep sabotaging yourself. Second, I'd study the winners. I'd ask myself these 3 questions. What made that trade special? What did I do right? What was the setup? And all look to the risk reward ratio. If your strategy says you should be targeting a 3-to-1 risk to reward or a 2-to-1, but you keep closing winners at 1-to-1 or less, that's fear stealing your profits. So let me show you. If you enter crude oil at $75.50 and your stop loss is set at, say, $75.20, so you're risking 30 cents. You should be able to get to at least 76.40, that's 90 cents reward, or a 3-to-1 risk reward. But instead, you panic and you close at 75.80 because it pulled back slightly. That's about a 1-to-1 exit after commission and fees. Now do this 10 times and you're sabotaging your entire edge. The third one is something that most traders would never do. I'd create a folder of my best setups, screenshots of perfect trades that meet all my criteria, and then I review them before every trading session. This way you can train your eye to recognize what looks right. Fourth is journaling, but keep it simple. Make it a simple journal. Date, entry, exit, profit or loss, and what the setup was. And most importantly, how did you feel when you got in, when you took your profit? Monitor that as well. That's it. Don't overcomplicate it. The fifth and the last is the first Sunday of every month. I do a deep dive. This is where I review everything. Use this time to look for patterns. Maybe you're over trading. Your stops are not set correctly. Maybe you're taking profits too early. Maybe at less than a 1-to-1. We all have our own demons in trading. The aim is to find the biggest leak sinking your account and set yourself to fix it for the next month, one leak at a time. I find it hilarious that most traders skip this step altogether and they wonder why they're not improving. The data doesn't lie. And if you play the demo phase properly, it will tell you what you need to fix. If you want to see how we actually trade live and prove everything I'm teaching here, check out the website below. All the proof is there. Cool. So you're tracking everything, analyzing your trades, and building your core A-plus setup library. But if you head to the wrong place, none of this is going to matter. So what's the wrong place? The wrong place is you're trading to make money when you should be trading to master the process. So here's how I'd rewire my brain. First, celebrate losses when you followed the rules. I know that sounds crazy. Hear me out. If you take a stop when you're supposed to, or you let your winners run to your target, the money takes care of itself. A loss that follows your rules becomes a good trade, and a winner where you broke your rules is actually a very bad trade. I once made $5,000 breaking my rules, and I celebrated it like an idiot. The next week, I lost $10,000 doing the same undisciplined, stupid trade. That $5,000 win almost cost me everything. The point is to detach from constantly watching your P&L. If you don't, you'll cut winners too early out of fear. You'll hold losers too long, hoping they'll come back. Second, study market structure. Before entering a trade, understand what the market is actually doing. Look across multiple symbols. Find the best trend, then find confluence. All right, so here's how that would work. On the daily chart, let's take the euro yen. It's in an uptrend. You see that prices pull back to a key support zone at, say, 159.50. And you spot a bullish inside candle forming right at that level with higher volume. Three cues, one story. Buyers are stepping in. That's confluence. Compare that to taking some random 5-minute setup with no context, with no setup. That is gambling. When everything lines up, you're taking a high probability trade instead of gambling for a quick buck. Mastering this analysis is the real edge. And yeah, everyone says the trend is your friend, but the real money is made when you can spot when the trend is ending. Watch for market structure breaks, support levels failing, and low volume. If you see all three playing out, the trend is likely done for. It's time to get off the ride. So you see it? With this framework, you stop chasing profit and instead you learn the rhythm of the market. So your process produces consistent trades. Third, let the market speak to you. The market doesn't care about your bills or your goals. Your job is to observe and react according to your rules. Having this in the back of your mind shifts the focus dramatically to doing the right thing, not making money in the moment. Fourth, the daily process checklist. Every morning, I'd analyze the market structure, identify A-plus setups. What could trigger? Have a watch list, and I'd plan entries and stops once price starts to behave in the way that my plan expects it to. Then, during trading, I'd only take those planned setups from that predetermined watch list. Then, every evening, I'd ask myself one question. Did I follow my rules? Not, did I make money? Profits are a byproduct of the process, not the goal. After 30 years plus, I can tell you with certainty that success in trading requires these four non-negotiables. Smart funding. Scared money doesn't win. Learning from someone who can prove their results. We all need a guide. Obsessive journaling. We got to track our habits. And complete devotion to process over profits. And for those of you who are ready to accelerate the progress with mentorship from someone who's actually lived this journey with all of its ups and downs, my live trading room might be what you need. 6 months from now, you could have mastered one of the most profitable skills on earth. Or you keep trying on your own and see where that takes you. No pressure from me. The choice is always yours. Now, if you found this valuable, make sure you watch my next video where I break down the exact market structured patterns I use every single day to identify high probability setups. I'm going to show you what confluence actually looks like on real charts and how to spot trend exhaustion before it happens so you don't hold on to losers. Thanks for watching. Now go put in the work.